You don't even have to have a mental health diagnosis technically to do therapy. If you are
on the track, boy.
So I'm about to try my best to get this done with. Okay, so welcome to my channel. I'm so excited you are here. If you enjoyed this segment of this video after I'm talking, please go ahead, subscribe. Also, just leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you like about the video. Let me know where you're from, and let me know what you guys want to. Come on. So today we are going to be talking about one of my favorite topics. So one of my favorite topics is mental health. So what I did was I created 5 I don't know if you want to call them myths, but maybe 5 reasons that I feel like I commonly hear as far as like why people do not want to do therapy. I'm gonna run through them real quick and just give my feedback. And you guys, let me know what you guys think too in the comments. Please let me know what you guys think. Okay, so number 1 is therapy is only for crazy people, which I feel like we all probably can say we've heard something like that. We can definitely say that's something that we could like relate to as far as like the way people talk about therapy. I think this just goes back way into time when we think about how people were treated when they did have a mental health diagnosis, or if they were struggling with mental health issues, period. They were not treated how they should have been treated. A lot of them were locked up. A lot of them were treated like animals. So I feel like that is still in somewhere of our minds when we think about therapy. But I wouldn't say that's completely false. Therapy is not for crazy people. Therapy can be for anybody. You don't even have to have a mental health diagnosis technically to do therapy. If you are having a hard time with reaching goals, if you are having a hard time with support, if you are having a hard time because you're transitioning in a new chapter in life, you can do therapy. Therapy will be beneficial for you. My second one is therapy is only for people with money. That is false. Is it more accessible? Probably so, but it's not just for people who have money. With COVID going around, a lot of insurance, if you have insurance, they are providing telehealth services free for mental health. Depending on your area in the health department, they do sliding scales. So basically they look at your income and then they base it off that as far as what they would charge you for services. HR, if you are working right now and you're not really sure where to go to get services, please reach out to your HR department for them to provide you with the information that you need to get services. Number 3, I'm looking down because I have my questions written down. Number 3, if I say I'm suicidal or I'm really depressed, I'm going to go to the hospital.
So I'm smiling right here, but it's really not funny. The reason why I'm smiling because I think this is such a big issue that I have for people who don't want to get hospitalized.
That to say, if you are depressed or suicidal because you're scared to go to the hospital, please don't let that be a reason why you don't let anybody know, why you don't let your therapist know. It's more that goes into it. I'm not gonna go into like the details.
If you are ever in a crisis, you can always call your local crisis hotline number, and if you are ever in immediate danger, please call 911.
Help that you need. 4, if someone goes to therapy, they are also on medication. So that is a big false. Just because you automatically are in therapy, that does not mean that you are going to be on medication. I will say this though, some diagnoses, depending on what you have, medication and therapy do work better together. So with that being said, depending on what you are struggling with, whoever you see, they may recommend, hey, I think you would work, you would do better if you were coming to talk to me, but if you are also prescribed on medication. But that's a conversation. Nobody's not going to say, hey, you have to get put on this. It's going to be a conversation. A lot of times I think people think they're automatically going to get put on something, which the doctor might recommend it, but you can always say, hey, I don't feel comfortable, I want to do the therapy first, and then let's see about medication. My last one, which I think is so important, and I'm happy that I put it down, I have to stay with a therapist I cannot connect with. That is a big boss. You have complete control over who you share your thoughts with, your emotions with. A lot of times I think people think, oh, I'm with this therapist, they know more than me, so if I don't feel right, it's not, it's them, it's me. And I just have to stick with it. That is so not true. Your therapist, you should look at your therapist just like how you look at your medical doctor. You don't want nobody checking you out all in your body and you don't feel comfortable with them. It's the same thing with the therapist. You want to feel like, I have a connection with this person. This person has my best interest at heart. I feel like, they can, relate to me. I feel like what I'm saying to them is not just going over their head. So with that being said, you do not connect with your therapist, and it might take a few sessions, but if it's like after I say the third session and you feel like, hey, we're just not vibing, then you have the right to say, hey, I don't think this is working, and I would like to try somebody else. And that's okay. You do not have to stick with the therapist that you are not comfortable with. And I think that's very important, because if you're not comfortable with that therapist, how are you going to open up to them? How are you going to work on things? So that's a really important thing. If you do not feel comfortable with your therapist, you have the opportunity to, say that and say, hey, I would like to try somebody else. I would like to, work with somebody else. And that is completely fine. So yeah, those were just some, I know this is really quick. Those were just 5, I don't know if they're myths, but just things that I feel like have came up a lot that I just wanted to address and just give feedback on. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know, are these things that you feel like you struggle with, or you feel like, oh, I had an opinion like that, or I didn't have an opinion like that. Let me know down here in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this topic, if you enjoyed this information, if you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on, because I will be posting every week on Fridays. So if you watched this video all the way to the end, I appreciate you. Be well and take care. See you later.